In recent years, superhero games have been a hit and miss. Since the 2013's Injustice, which did fairly well, and both Injustice games were great, then the Spider-Man game in 2018, and Miles Morales, and the Avengers game that I actually enjoyed, but it flopped pretty hard. Check out my video on that if you get a chance, but those are Marvel games. I mean, not Injustice, but you know what I mean. But when it comes to DC games, Superman is either completely absent or a villain. But why? But I, for one, am a pretty huge Superman fan, and I know the majority of the lore, and I know there's a whole different versions of Superman, good, bad, whatever. And in recent years, they have been portraying him as a villain rather than a good guy. And out of all the different versions of him, most of the comic book adaptations are good. There's very few where he is an evil version of Superman. I mean, there's always been an evil version of Superman, but portraying him in a video game, he's always been evil. He's either been evil or the game just sucked. So I did all you a favor and I googled it so you didn't have to. I searched, why does every superhero game make Superman out to be the bad guy recently? I'm going to break this down in a minute. I'm just going to read this beginning part real quick. It says it's not accurate to say every superhero game recently portrays Superman as the villain. However, there's a trend of this game and stories where Superman's powers and actions are put into question, sometimes even depicting him as a threat or an antagonist. This often stemmed from challenges making the Superman game fun and engaging, giving his immense power and lack of obvious weaknesses, which I mean, I can kind of sort of agree with that, but I also can't in some aspects. So what is that saying exactly? That it's too difficult to make a Superman game, or Superman is the good guy and using him to defeat enemies wouldn't be challenging enough. For this next video, I'm actually going to be looking at Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and the game was okay, but it has its flaws, like one glaring flaw that is the Justice League are evil because of Brainiac brainwashing everyone in the league, including Batman, which that has huge flaws in my mind as well. One biggest question that I have right out the gate will probably reach some controversy, like why is Wonder Woman the only one not affected by Brainiac? Was this some feminist thing that they were trying to make some sort of a statement about a strong woman that can withstand the brainwashing? Or I don't know, maybe I'm looking too much into this, but the game never mentions why, and we'll probably never know why, because eventually she dies anyways. The point of the beginning half of this video is to beg the question, why is Superman always getting his reputation smeared by always being portrayed as a villain? Let's break down this Google search even further. Starting with the storytelling and plot, this post mentions that they want to explore what happens when a powerful figure like Superman is corrupt or forced into difficult situations, leading to a villainous Superman. Like, okay, I mean, Lois and Superman's unborn child getting killed along with everyone else in Metropolis. They've already done that with Injustice. I can kind of understand why Superman did what he did in the Injustice games. I get it, but then let's talk about his character's complexity. They are trying to explore the darker aspects of Superman's powers and the potential for misuse, forcing players to question his actions and motives. And again, they did a good job with the Injustice games and the movie, but I think they should have just left it at that. And as for the game mechanics, some games might use Superman's powers in a way to make him a very difficult or even dangerous opponent, even if he's not intended to be the bad guy in the traditional sense. But they always seem to put stuff like this in like the distant future, where there's some sort of museum of all the big bad guys that they have taken out. Well, why not make a game where the Justice League actually takes out those bad guys instead of say, oh, they already did this, so let's put them in a museum or something. I mean, I did not mention this in my Avengers video, but they did the same crap with the Avengers game as well. It put it in the future, and it's like, why not make a game where they're on top instead of making a game where they start off on top and they get knocked down real quick? Like, it gets tiring. Like, why not get a game where they're developing who they are as a character, you know? Not just that they're already figured it out and then somebody screwed up and now they gotta build their reputation back up again. No, that is such an overused concept in these types of games. But there's a lot of factors like the type of enemies Superman would have that would go into this as well. Like, what if the main bad guy in a game is like Darkseid, for example? Darkseid is like the Thanos in the DC universe, except I believe he's 10 times worse. He would have been great and a very challenging enemy for the Justice League, or just Superman alone even. I mean, there's a number of big main villains that he can have, but like when you're talking about like the day-to-day criminals, I mean, of course, if they're human beings, of course, I mean, Superman can take them, I mean, no matter what. But if you're talking about trying to do like a free roam type of game, like the original like Superman Returns game, but just to make the ending better, you know, he can like fight one of those enemies that I mentioned previously instead of a freaking tornado, I guess. I mean, that was the one disappointing factor of that Superman game. I mean, if you really want to talk about the challenges, why don't they make a Smallville-esque type of game where Clark Kent is still learning about his abilities, so he's not like the all-powerful Superman yet, but he's learning. I mean, that would be pretty cool, right? And the last thing we can talk about is the development challenges. They say that some developers find it difficult to create a good Superman game due to the challenges of balancing his powers and abilities in a video game format. But I mean, I just explained what they could do possibly. And I mean, they can take notes from the Superman Returns game, just make it a better ending, of course, because I mean fighting a tornado was kind of lame. I've already said it once and I'll say it again. Fighting a tornado was very lame. I just really believe that they're giving Superman a bad reputation by always portraying him as a villain. It's just crazy to me because most of the time it's like they have to go to a different Earth to find another good version of Superman to defeat Superman. I mean, unless it's Injustice 2, because then it's Supergirl does it because, you know, girl power. I mean, people have been asking for a modern day Superman game for years, but, you know, what's the holdup? As for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, I've got some issues, and most of my issues, my big glaring issues, are the story. Now, story-wise, comic books, movies, whatever, this is the first story type of thing where the Suicide Squad actually go up against the Justice League, and I mean, like, come on, I mean, this game had so much more potential to be so much more. I mean, it could have been, you know, they could have went up against Black Adam or Deathstroke or, you know, anyone but the Justice League, you know, and this just makes the portrayal of heroes becoming villains very tiring, you know, like I mean, give it a rest. And I know, before anyone says anything in the comments, you know, Brainiac is the main bad guy, but still, I mean, Brainiac uses the Justice League, and that's what really gets tiring. Okay, let's grab this here. Okay. Alrighty. Hi, this is Anthony with Out of That Gaming. Let's be sure my focus is correct here. Hi, this is Anthony with Out of That Gaming. I'm here holding my camera because I misplaced my stand in the move, you know, and I got a green screen back there, but it's not perfectly right because I don't have my stand, you know. That and I don't have any lights yet either. I'm literally just relying on the one right above me. So yeah, that's in the making. But I actually wanted to just leave a quick little video here to remind you to please like, please subscribe to this channel. You know, absolutely no pressure. The last thing I want is to give you pressure to like and subscribe something. Especially if you don't like the video. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. I don't care. All I'm saying is just like, subscribe to this video. No pressure. Hope you enjoy this video. And yeah, I guess we're going to get back to it now. Again, no pressure. Anyways, about the game, the combat felt pretty good. I will say that each character was a little bit different, but kind of a variant of the same thing in each character. It's kind of a weird statement that sounded almost contradicting. What I mean is each character has a gun, each character has grenades, each character has a way to traverse the city, and it's basically the same thing, just done in kind of a different way. I mean, I guess the only thing really different in each character is kind of the way they traverse the city, because, I mean, you got, like, you know, Deadshot, who has the jetpack. King Shark, he can jump really high. Captain Boomerang has a thing that he actually basically stole from the Flash, where he can kind of go in and out of the Speed Force. Harley Quinn has, like, a Spider-Man-esque type of thing. So I mean, I guess it is a little bit different, and I guess the way that they use their melee is a little bit different in each character as well. But even that has some of its similarities, because Harley Quinn and King Shark need to be closer to the enemies to use their melee, where Captain Boomerang and Deadshot can be further away because, you know, Boomerang uses his boomerang and Deadshot uses guns. I did, however, enjoy the way the game looked. The graphics are pretty good with the facial animations, and again, the combat was pretty tight. I did not, however, enjoy that there was so much chaos going on at the same time, so much stuff on the screen that I kind of had a hard time focusing on a mission at hand. Everything was just very distracting. Every time you hit an enemy, numbers would pop up on the screen to show you how much damage was dealt. On top of that, every enemy has a little health bar above them. Then you have your health bar, your armor, there's a little bar to show you how much ammo you have left. And when you reload, you have to tap the square button at the right time, or your reload will be slower, or whatever corresponding button that is depending on what console you're on. And when your health gets very low, this will also be evidently so, as Rachel Zegler would put it, because the entire screen will grow red, and then it will eventually, when it gets really, really low, it will start to give you like a grayscale, also extremely distracting. There was just so much going on inside the screen for my liking. The upgrades and all the enhancements are also very complicated for me to explain in this video, nor do I want to. The story, as I explained earlier, was a little lackluster and could have been so much better. And this game is also considered to be in the Arkham-verse, so it was definitely a shame that this was Kevin Conroy's last voice role for the iconic Arkham Batman, because he sadly passed away in 2022. It was nice that they gave a little memorial to him at the end of this game though. But still, it was quite a shame, because they did not do this Arkham Batman justice, considering the way the Arkham games ended and all the good that he did and the legacy that he led. Just it was a shame that he died by the hands of Harley Quinn. But as I explained earlier, it is just really hard for me to understand why they can't make a game where the good guys are actually, you know, good. And yeah, I'm sure all of you know that this is a live service game that actually ended. I believe the last season ended in season 4, episode 8 on January 14th of this year. 2025 if you're watching this video in the future. But I mean, yeah, like I said, I did enjoy the combat in the game, but that's really the only thing I did actually enjoy about this game. Wasn't a fan of all the LGBTQ stuff, and I wasn't a huge fan of that Harley Quinn was basically lesbian for a 9-year-old Poison Ivy. Weird little fact about this one, that they were not actually lesbian for each other until the Harley Quinn series, so that in its own is quite weird. No matter how bad Joker always treated her, Joker has always been the love interest of Harley Quinn. Granted, you know, in this universe he is definitely dead, and even though he was a piece of crap, she always had a love for Joker. I mean, they could have just left that whole love thing between Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn just completely out of it, and we would have been fine. But my final thoughts on this game is that it was this isn't a standard review, so I'm not going to give it a drum roll and show you what I'm rating this game. Just kidding, drum roll please. 3 Harley Quinn mallets to the face. Y'all ready? So let's mix her up.
Okay, no.
Mix it up really good. Mix it up really good. All right, now dig in there deep. Pick out something really good this time. You want that one?
Here, I'll read it.
Okay, go ahead and read it.
Ellen, man-eater.
Man-eater. Oh, this is that shark game. Okay, I guess we'll try. This is probably gonna be another short video, because I was like, I'll try that game because it's you play a shark. Say bye.
Bye, guys.